Right, GM everyone. Gonna wait a minute or two for a few others to filter in. And Josh is going to be sharing the slides on the Zoom link today. I've got to duck out towards the end of this meeting to go fetch a team member from the airport. GM Adam.
GM.
That's the sound of a man with his mouse plugged in.
Yes, I was going to say, mouse plugged in, ready for another week.
Oh, thank you. Whoever kicked lo-fi off the stage. Alrighty. Assuming everyone can see the slides via the Zoom link. So I'm going to kick things off from the core team. So first of all, some stats that are updated this week, thanks to Ocean. Last week, 74 different pull requests across 4 repositories. We had 2 new contributors, which is awesome. 7 bounties created and 5 closed successfully and 9 have failed. We've got 2 others in progress, which is awesome. These numbers keep ramping up every week, and they're going to continue even more so. Engineering has a retreat this week. We're all going up to the mountains, so bear with us, kind of treat it like the product retreat a little bit before ETH Denver. So we may not have as much availability, but it's going to be a good investment in kind of the team and planning for the next 6 months ahead and just refining process and figuring out better ways to scale. So certainly looking forward to that. Last week, we did Unchained kind of knowledge transfer and some bounties. So we've got Elmut back at the moment. He's taken some time off for an extended hibernation/nap, but he's back and all fresh and has jumped straight into the Unchained stuff. And so Kevin did a great handover with kind of Adam and Sean and others. So really good work there. We've got a bunch of bounties that we're going to get created for stuff to try and scale it out. I see some of the first ones of those being posted this morning. But yeah, just generally trying to get some more kind of maturity around the Unchained side of things. One of the big notes that Apotheosis has done is Cypress end-to-end testing. So we've got all of that configured, which is great. Which basically what Cypress does is like clicking on the application rather than just unit testing. So we've got, robots clicking the buttons to make sure that we've got, the basic functionality covered, and we're going to be bountying out more coverage there. So just a heads up to anyone, if you create, if the tests fail, you're now liable to fix those. But they're working for external contributors and internal contributors, and we've got the runs going much quicker. So it's just an awesome kind of progression to give us more confidence with respect to regressions and relieve some pressure on ops for manual testing. We're targeting March 28th for the Cosmos base. Seems very likely it's going to be earlier than that now. So we've split out on the Unchained lib and web repos. If you check the issues tab, we have milestones set up for both of those. So we're making sure the base stuff gets covered first. So base is going to be the send, receive, transaction history and market data. So we're plumbing that through the stack from kind of right to left, from back end through to the front end. And then staking and delegation will follow after that. So we've got a GOAT, no GOAT today, thanks to operations for the Cosmos stuff. We're basically going to soft launch the base functionality, and then once all the kind of juicy user-facing stuff is coming, being that the staking and delegation, we'll do a full like marketing launch when that's ready, which will unblock Osmosis and Thorchain and stuff like Evmos and all these other IBC chains, which is great. So it's pretty much it from engineering. It's going to be a little bit of a quiet one in terms of delivery this week, just because of the retreat. It's going to be worth it. So I'll hand it over to Big Kev.
Thank you. So on the coins team backend side of things, focus has been all on Cosmos support through Unchained and Chain adapters, particularly with the standard TX support. That's where we're starting in those milestone breakouts. There's been work in chain adapters for get TX history, build, send transaction, and broadcast transaction by Postagos. Working on getting those fully through the PR review process, this week. And the other side of things is the WebSocket support. So currently building out the Unchained WebSocket client that we use in chain adapters that will then support subscribe TXs, unsubscribe TXs, and close TXs. And that's pretty much the full support through the backend for the standard transactions. There is one ancillary thing for getting fee data that we do have a bounty PR in progress. It's slowly getting to completion due to some time zone differences. Then once that's all done, we're starting on kind of the staking support for delegate, redelegate, undelegate, etc. in both the Unchained transaction parser and then the actual building of those transactions as well in chain adapters. So yeah, that's the focus. As DeFi mentioned, did some handoff, creating some additional bounties, getting more people into the project, and that's really nice, and we'll be able to continue spreading that knowledge and looking forward to that. I don't know if we have middle name or if his stuff is updated. I think it's all been Unchained cost optimization, support for Unchained clusters in Taxi Stake, and trying to reduce those costs to kind of match the initial proposal. There's a little bit of a discrepancy there. So that's been the primary focus on the SRE side. I'll fill in there. So next would be Mr. Nerdhair with security.
GM, everybody. So this week I've got Pendo stuff I'm working on. I hope to have the staging environment going. If I can get an invite to that, hopefully I'll have that ready by the end of the day. I'll be working on the sandbox portion to allow it to be deployed to alpha.shapeshift.com this week. I have some review to do for the HTTP strict transport security and DNSSEC stuff that we hope to turn on next Monday. And I'm working with a KeepKey researcher to remediate some KeepKey issues, as well as a couple of things regarding Unchained Swagger docs. That's pretty much it. Everybody else will be out this week. I will not be out. So if you happen to need, some sort of debugging help or, some sort of insight on something, hit me up and maybe I can assist.
Nerdhair, you should have just stayed here.
Yeah, I thought about that, but it was going to be like a whole month, and I do like my own bed.
We could have taught you to ski or snowboard or something. Cool.
I have the feeling that would be more amusing for others than it would be for me.
I thought it'd be mutually beneficial. Cool. GM. Cosmos and V2, as Kevin mentioned, we had a handoff with him prior to arrival of Mini-Kev. Elmut rejoined us, as was also pre-mentioned. So welcome back to the beast, Elmut. Definitely going to be a big help in getting Cosmos pushed forward and Osmosis and start really realizing what we've got here in a product. Part of that handoff, Kevin had identified several good options for bounties, and I've been working with Elmut on those. We got the first out and into Ocean's hands just a bit ago. I believe he'll be posting that one. And still chasing the Cosmos sends are broken on beta thing. We have the issue identified and a fix, and now we're just fighting incompatibilities with HD Wallet that were introduced, incompatibilities towards Axiom, which we decided to essentially fork and maintain an Axiom version of HD Wallet while we work feverishly to deprecate and remove and burn that with fire and all that stuff. And the mountains are calling for later this week I'll be here through like all day Tuesday and then up there Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. I think that's about it. We go to Diggy.
Thanks, Adam. GM again, everybody. Yeah, a lot going on in UX design and product. We have some UI updates for the new layout that we're working on across multiple projects just to coincide with the UI changes on the front end that went live last week. Foxy, we have a prototype ready and we are going to start usability testing. And then we have some other specs in progress that we're working on some design needs for those like ThorChain parity and a few others. Biggest priorities this week, of course, Cosmos, the first no-go is today. Beta parity, mobile app migration, and ThorChain are the next two big pieces of that. And then just finalizing the specs and designs to correspond, as I mentioned. The YAT bounty, we are just waiting to hear back from one of the people on their team, but we are actively trying to move that forward to an external group to build that out. And we have an open position for a UX developer that we need to start, I guess, shilling that. So we are going to start moving forward to interviews and things like that. And Pendo, as was mentioned, getting that into a staging environment and beginning training on how to get those guides set up. And we've started working on some documentation around that already. And I guess that's it from me. I'll see if Fox McCloud or Willie Fox want to jump up here and give an update on anything else. Thank you.
GM, everyone, nothing from me. Looking forward to hanging out at the retreat, meeting you all in person. I was just working on this process for integrating large features into ShapeShift. So building on top of engineering existing processes for technical integrators and letting people know what the product requirements are, as well as the support and guidance available to them from the product workstream if they decide to pick up a large feature. So if there's time, we will be able to discuss the details of this at the retreat. Looking forward to all these goat no goats too.
Awesome. Thank you, Willie. Releases this week. We probably update this section. We are aiming to do 2 releases this week. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Any kind of questions this week? You're also quiet. Willie, looking forward to seeing you at the retreat. Adam too, plus all of our new team members, Gomes and Apotheosis. Alrighty, guys.
Snowball fight teams on Saturday or Friday.
We're certainly going to be the weather for it. Yeah. We can bring like Willie up and then throw snowballs at him if we don't like his product process, I think. See if
Willie can recreate hitting me square in the forehead on my helmet over someone's back like he did last time. That's pretty sweet.
It's on.
Is that a threat or a promise?
Both, yeah.
Yeah.
Both. All right. Awesome. Let's bring Lo-Fi Girl back up here. How do we do this?
Oh, Perklin was asking about this retreat details. You might want to hit him up. I think I gave him correct information.
Yeah, he's fully aware. He's going to come and engineering is going to talk FoxChain with Perklin.
Yeah, he's got the details.
Yeah.
Okay. He had just said this weekend to me a few minutes ago.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's bring Lo-Fi up again.